And we'll have dinner here in just a second. By the way, thank you guys so much for being here and having dinner with us. I really appreciate it. I want to especially appreciate all of our current patients that are here, and for those of you who have been in our office before, we have some of the friendliest people in all of Houston in our clinic. Those are the only ones we accept as patients. My name is Dr. Tabor Smith, and this is my wife, Dr. Gina. And down in the belly there is either Ryder or Tylee. We don't know yet. It's going to be a surprise whether it's a boy or a girl. So, we're due at the end of January, so things are getting exciting. But guys, I guarantee tonight you're going to hear a few things that you probably have never heard before, because this just isn't taught. And a lot of us, how many people can appreciate the stressed out life? All right, we feel stress, but we don't understand it. And if we don't understand something, we can't deal with it very well. And tonight we're going to understand not only how devastating stress can be to your health, but also some things that we can do to de-stress and to live a healthier life. Now, the first thing we have to understand when we're talking about stress is that stress is real. There's a lot of people that think it's just a figment of somebody's imagination, or it's just emotional, but it's not. Stress is actually a real response by the body. Now, this is Webster's dictionary. It says stress is actually a specific response by the body to a stimulus that interferes with normal physiology. Okay, so in my words, after reading that, this is what stress really is. It's anything the body has to adapt to in order to survive. Now, it's very important that that God created our body with the ability to adapt to stress. Because if we couldn't, we wouldn't even live as long as we do. There's 3 different types of stress. Okay, so there's physical, which is something we all understand pretty well. We slip, we fall, we get in a car accident, we have back pain, neck pain, headaches. These types of physical stress, we roll our ankle, even that's stress on the body. The second thing is chemical. We have a lot of chemical stresses right now in our society, in our daily life. We have alcohol, drugs, tobacco, but not just those types of serious chemical stresses, it's also in our diet. A lot of times we're eating a lot of processed foods that have chemicals in them, or we're drinking a lot of sugar drinks and things that have chemicals in them. And so we get these chemical stresses that cause our body to go through a stress response as well. The third thing is what we can all relate to is emotional stress. And everybody has this, no matter who you are. It's just to what degree that you have emotional stress. But these stresses, those 3 kinds of stress, cause 2 types. Now, it's important to remember that the stress response in the body is always the same. We are created with one stress response. But it's either it comes about acutely or chronically. We have acute stress every day, or we have a chronic stress every day, all day, for our entire life. Now, we're going to be looking a little bit closer at those 2, but it's important to remember that acute stress is actually a good thing. It's something that our body responds to, and it's our basic environment. Now, if we couldn't produce these changes, and we couldn't deal with our everyday stress, then we would die. We wouldn't be able to survive. So I want you to picture with me this analogy. Let's say we are walking in the jungle. Everybody's been there, right? And let's say this giant Bengal tiger just jumps out at you. It happens. And let's say, okay, so this giant tiger jumps out at you. How many of you think your body's going to go through a stress response? Okay. Yes, it has to, in order for you to survive. That's what we call the acute stress response. It's for survival. Now, this is exactly what happens in your physiology when you see that tiger. Number 1, stress hormones are released into your blood. This is to prepare your body to respond. Number 2, your heart rate and your blood pressure increase, because you have to get blood and oxygen to your muscles, because you're either going to have to fight this tiger or you're going to have to run from this tiger, which I'm going to be running. Your blood glucose in your blood goes up, because you need quick energy, and your body uses glucose for energy. Now, this is interesting. Fats in the blood and cholesterol go up. That's for wound healing. We use fats for wound healing. We use cholesterol to make more hormone. And so that makes sense during a stress response to increase our cholesterol. Now, of course, our feelings of fear and anxiety are going to go up. There's a tiger staring us in the face. And it allows us to concentrate on that tiger. But what it causes is a decreased short-term memory and a decreased ability to learn. Because when the tiger's right at you, it's not important to go through your algebra and learn all these things, right? So your body shifts this energy to things that are important. Here's interesting, serotonin, our sleep hormone, goes down, and adrenaline goes up, right? Makes sense. We have to be alert. We have to be ready to act. Sensitivity to pain goes up. Because if you're injured, you need to know it. And so in a fight or flight type of situation, your sensitivity is going to go up. And another thing is your cellular immunity goes down, your growth and sex hormones go down, and your bone loss goes up. Because those things aren't important right now. What's important is we get away from this tiger, we can worry about building bone later. But the thing to remember is that there's only one stress response. So let's take a look what happens in the chronic stress response, when we're under stress all the time. Our stress hormones are still released. We're preparing our body to respond. Our heart rate increases and our blood pressure goes up. Remember, that was to get blood and oxygen to the muscles. But over long periods of time, over years, it causes heart disease, hypertension, heart attack. The second thing that happened, remember, the blood glucose goes up because we need that quick energy. But over years of blood glucose going up causes diabetes, hypoglycemia, those types of things. You're all right. Fats in the blood, cholesterol go up. Remember, that was for wound healing and repair and making more hormones. Over years of chronic stress, these being up in our blood causes hardening of our arteries, strokes, those types of things. Our feelings of fear and anxiety that were up because we needed to concentrate. Depression, bipolar, other psychological problems because we are always anxious. Our short-term memory and our ability to learn is down. Causes ADD, job struggles, family problems, other stresses to just surmount on top of each other. Remember, serotonin was our sleep molecule? Well, when it's down and our adrenaline is up, for long periods of time we get insomnia.